Are we live? Thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. What the hell? And we're live? Well, it's about damn time. Jesus. You gotta love software. It works when it wants to, and it doesn't when it don't. It's awesome. Welcome, everybody, to your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. Hang on 1 second. I gotta change my graphic here in the back. And we're gonna change that. And let's go that one. There we go. Sweet. I like this one. All right, good morning. Let's see, we got everyone. All right, we got people over on Rumble. First of all, everybody, like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Helps out a lot. All right, with the algorithms. Algorithms. He invented the interwebs. So, today, on today's show, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 80-20 split. Right? 80% of people are not stupid. 20% of people are stupid. Now, when I say stupid, what I mean is reactionary, non-thinkers, unorganized existers. Let's put it that way. People who wake up and don't have a plan for the day. They don't have an alarm clock that's set. They have things they want to do, but they don't have a plan to do them. Right? We call those teenagers. No, but that's what I'm talking about. See, some people never grow up and into learning how to manage your time. Right? The key to success is time management and effort. That's it. You want to succeed in life? Time management and effort. Right? As long as you've got a plan and you move towards your goal. Now, don't have micromanaged expectations. As you live your day, have a couple of goals in mind. How you achieve those goals, leave that up to your instant judgment and your instincts. Right? Here's an example. Say I'm done with the show. And I'm like, all right, I want to go down and get lunch at that restaurant. No problem. All right, I walk outside, I get in my car, I turn it, it doesn't crank up, my battery's dead. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people will get mad. Right? They're like, oh, God, I'm having such a bad day. I went outside and my car was dead. See, I don't waste my time getting mad at life for being life. In the old days, my dad had a bumper sticker on his truck that says, shit happens. That's it. Don't get mad at life because it doesn't meet your expectations. Life's not there to meet your expectations. Life is there to be experienced. All right, if you have expectations of a movie, right here, this is basically the most generic way of explaining this. Have you ever read a book that they turn into a movie, and then you go to the movie and you're like, the book was so much better? Yeah, because as you're reading the book, it's your expectations of the visualization of the book that you're experiencing. So, of course, your expectations translated into a visualization of the book is going to be a lot better to you than a director's interpretation of the book that aligns with his or her expectations. You see what I'm saying? It's your point of view as you read the book. You look at an actor and go, well, I wouldn't have put that guy in that role. Well, yeah, because as you read the book, you had a visualization of what that actor, whatever role they are in the book. Right? My wife reads those trashy $1.99 romance, sweep you off your feet, throw you on the bed, 50 shades of ass whooping while you're having sex type of books. Well, then she'll watch the movie and go, well, that's not really as good as the book. Well, yeah, because maybe my wife likes getting slapped on the ass 3 times, but in the movie, they only did it once. Well, why'd they only slap her on the ass once? Who likes just one slap on the ass? It's all interpretation. All right? Now, my point to this is this. All right? Yes, Johnny. My wife's not a Fabio guy. Now, here's a little inside baseball. All right, here's a little inside Bitcoin Ben and his wife's relationship. My wife and I have a joke. All right. And the inside joke is I told her, look, I'll give you 3 celebrities that if you ever meet that you can sleep with and no consequences. All right. Just go have fun, enjoy the show. She picked Matthew McConaughey, uh, uh, that one other guy, and another guy. I can't remember. All right, so she had 3 guys. If she ever met them, have fun. And it's a joke we've had. All right. Now, I would I'd always laugh and go, all right, you can't say the neighbor. Right? You can't say, all right, Matthew McConaughey, Tom Cruise, and the guy who lives next door. Right? That won't work. But, and the reason is it was funny. All right? I have no idea why I'm telling you guys this, but hell with it. We're all friends here. But the point I'm getting to is this. As, right, Johnny, hey, wait, I even picked Matthew McConaughey. All right, for those who don't know, Johnny Midas is a friend of mine out in California. All right, he's I don't know how much, personal shit. He's a stand-up comedian, and he was successful at it for quite a long time. Knows a lot of very successful comedians in Hollywood. Let's just put it that way. Great guy. Shout out Johnny. So my point is this, is the Americans splitting 80-20. All right, 80% reasonable people, 20% complete dumbasses will experience life, live in their mom's fucking basement. That's fine. Right? Or they're homeless, or they're searching for their gender at the bottom of a garbage can or something. Right? That's the 20%. Push them away. The 80% is about 65% of people who know how to accomplish shit and rely on their individual accomplishments. The other 35% are what I call leeches. Right? Leeches are societal and individually reliant on getting their self-worth from something else, someone else. Right? Those we call liberals. It's why liberals are the most racist people, because they only see the outside. Right? They don't look for the inside individual. And they generalize. Right? And in generalization, when your view is generalization, your answers are always general or communal or centralized. These are people who don't and can't imagine self-reliance. They don't get it because they've never been able to do it themselves. So someone who cannot climb a mountain cannot want to hang out with people who climb mountains because they don't know how to do it. That's why the left and the right, there's no coming together. All right? There's no meet in the middle. And this is why individualism and collectivism, there is no middle, because the individualist is, I can do it. The collectivist is, you can't do it unless you have help. Right? And these two ideologies, these two characteristics conflict. See, while the individual looks at a car and says, that's mine, the collectivist looks at that and goes, but 100 people built it. So you're not really doing it on your own. You are reliant on those 100 people who are building the car. The individualist looks at it and goes, that's my car. My car. I bought it. What the collectivist doesn't see is the interaction amongst the individual's reward structure. Right? Those people who actually built the car, they did not build the car because they wanted to be charitable and give this guy a car. No, they were compensated for their individual labor to achieve the result of creating that car. And then the individual, through his labor, collected enough value that was equal to the production and profit margin of that car. The collectivist only sees the group. They don't see the individual reward structure inside that group. That's why the leftists move towards government, because government doesn't produce anything. Right? The government is not producing a battleship. The government wants to manage the production of the battleship and pay for it. But the government isn't providing anything to the ship builder. Now, a collectivist would say, roads, roads. You can't have business without roads. But what they don't see, because they can't look at individuals, They don't have that perception ability. They don't see that the government's not building the roads. The government is taking people's money and printing it and then hiring individuals and paying them labor costs to produce the road. So the government didn't build the road. The individuals did in a reward structure. The collectivist, the communist, the socialist looks at government as an organizing structure. But they don't understand that any organizing structure, corporations, churches, families, their sole goal of any organized structure is to grow and maintain the structure of the organization. I have a point. I'm getting to it. So, where we're at right now is the government's gotten so big that it now takes up 130% of the nation's GDP, right? Gross production, right? That's how much the country makes. That's the country's wage. Right? The government uses up 130% of what the country makes. That's why we have a deficit. That's why we're in debt, because the government uses more than we produce. Now, in the world, in America, you have the cost of government and you have the cost of non-government, private sector, public sector. Private sector is everything not government. Public sector is everything government. That's public sector. When the public sector is using all of the productive energy of the country, GDP, then the private sector shrinks. Because without profit, the private sector will shrink. And that's where we're at. That's the big reset. Right? In 2009, 2007, 2008, 2009, that's when the government hit 100% of GDP. Right? That's why China's fucked, because China's at 240%. The Chinese government's cost to operate is 240% more than the production of the country, the wage, right? Let me put it like this. Let's say you have a husband and a wife, all right? The husband is working. The wife is working, right? The husband makes $100,000 a year. The wife makes $100,000 a year. Together they make $200,000. The husband in a year, he spends $210,000. The wife spends $100,000. So together they make $200,000. But together they spend $320,000. So every year they get $120,000 in debt. Right? But they keep shopping. They just keep going in debt. Right? And every year the husband spends more than he was. So instead of spending $220,000 a year, this year he's going to spend $240,000 a year. The wife is not going to spend $100,000 a year. She's only going to spend $90,000. So how much she gets to spend is less. That's the difference we're in America. The private sector is shrinking in real purchase power. Because remember, you're also dealing with an inflationary currency. So the real purchasing power every year is dropping because of the printing for the debt. Right? So what they get is less every year, or what the wife gets is less every year because the husband is getting more. The husband is the government. The wife is the private sector. The reason that we're in the Great Reset is now the husband is getting rid of the wife. That's where we're at. The global government is trying to get rid of the wife, the private sector, so that the government is the only one making, printing the money and producing, not really producing, managing the production of everything. That's globalization. And that's the Great Reset. Okay. Everyone on YouTube, you know the drill. You get a half hour. After that, I kick you guys off. We all go over to Rumble. There's a link under here to go to Rumble or go to my Substack. That's a neat platform. You guys should check it out. All right. because after an hour, I go from Rumble to strictly Substack, right? And FGTV. That's for the real people that want to like listen to the woo-woo shit, the government conspiracy stuff, right? That can't really talk about. Because for those of you who don't know, all right, YouTube tracks content creators on Rumble. And if you say too much shit on Rumble, they'll close your YouTube. Yeah, remember the little check mark that you check marked for YouTube and said, do you allow YouTube to track you on other apps? Remember that little check mark you guys check marked? Yeah, that's that. Because if you just leave YouTube and go over to Rumble and say some not approved things by YouTube, YouTube holds that content against you. It's a social credit score. And that's all ran the social credit score, folks. The social credit score is tracked through your laptop, through your television, through the hardware that you use, because your television tracks what you watch. Your laptop tracks websites you go, not through your browser. It's not through your browser. It's through the microchips in the hardware. See, a lot of people say, well, I use Brave browser. All right. I'm good. I use a VPN. I'm good. But what they don't understand is the video software in your video chip is broadcasting your video and your screen that you're watching information to the outside world. So your browser, right, if you're watching a screen and you're using a camera, there's hardware in your computer running that. Whatever browser you use helps on some things, but if you don't have a laptop that is set up to shut off the chips or block the chips from communicating outside of the hardware, you're done. See, it's why America's almost at war with friggin' Taiwan and China. Because Taiwan has the largest chip manufacturer in the world. Why are we going to war with Taiwan? Or why are we trying to protect Taiwan from China? Because we want their microchips produced so we get all the information from the hardware. China wants all of the microchips to send them the information. That's why America just passed the Inflation Reduction Act bullshit. And a big chunk of that Inflation Reduction Act is money to build microchip companies in America so that we can produce our own microchips. But part of the loan from the legislation that the companies get is an agreement that the government gets a back door to every microchip produced. So the government collects all the metadata, not from your browser, not from this, not from that, from the microchip processing all the shit you see. That's the difference, folks. They don't give a shit that you're using Brave. They're like, oh, yay, way to stop us from watching you. Yeah, Brave, yeah. Brave will save you from like outside corporations, web threats. All right, Brave can save you from web threats, but they can't save you from hardware threats. Right? Remember how I told you guys the new plugin, the USB-C plugin? It controls power and internet. That's called the smart grid. All right. If you have your computer plugged into the wall, the government doesn't give a flying fuck about your Wi-Fi. The government doesn't give a fuck if you're directly connected to your router. Because the government gets its information, its metadata from your hardware in your computer through the power cord into the smart meter of your house. Anyone want a Liberty laptop? So many people have no idea what's going on. There's a reason that I opened and Patrick opened CALIX Solutions, crypto laptops. Liberty laptops. Because me and Patrick, because we were, tinfoil hat people, we knew the government doesn't give a fuck about your Wi-Fi. They have a smart grid. The smart grid gets the information from the hardware, leaves you out. There's no choice. And if you don't know about it, even better. That's why we created Liberty laptops. We go in there and we shut off the chips. Because there's ways you can shut them down. You just have to know how to do it. And each computer's different. I've had people go, well, why not just tell us how to do it? All right, what brand? What processor? What this? What that? What this? What that? What this? What that? Well, I didn't know there was that many factors. Well, yeah. Well, then I don't know what. Yeah, it's why we produce one laptop, one brand, or two brands, and Apple and PC. Because if you tried to apply our formula to every single individually set up laptop, there's no way you could do it. So, if you want real privacy, not bullshit, here, download McAfee and you're good privacy, you get a Liberty laptop. And if you deal in cryptos, you get a crypto laptop. Right? That's why it's trademarked. Liberty laptop and crypto laptop trademarked. Because we're not going anywhere, folks. In a few years, we'll be producing our own laptops. I'm only just getting started, mother pluckers. Here's a word from the sponsor.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
All right, YouTube, man, I gave you an extra 12 minutes. You're lucky. No more extra time for you, YouTube. YouTube, you'll get no soup. See, come on over to Rumble, YouTubers. Links under. All right. Now that we got rid of those pesky little YouTubers, right?